No, thank you so much, and thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. And I just wanted to set the context before we get the ball rolling. We only have about 45 minutes here. See, the purpose of this discussion is not to recommend any mid-cap stock, which is what everyone has been asking me since I came into the room. And real estate tends to be the largest asset class in all our client portfolios. And we thought it's appropriate to speak to everyone, about the financial investments and how markets have changed, how client preferences have changed, what is the future, where are the opportunities. So these are some of the questions we'll try and tackle in today's discussion. And to begin with, perhaps, I just wanted to open up the question to Vipul. Vipul, could you give us a perspective on the last 2-3 years, how markets have evolved on the real estate side, and before we get into the other segments?
Okay, so instead of 2-3 years, maybe probably when we set up this first private equity fund almost 9 years back in real estate private equity. But if you talk about international capital, or for that matter domestic capital, which was quite less, say till about 4 or 5 years back, bulk of the investments were coming in the equity segment, private equity, what I'm talking about. Let me restrict myself to that space. Most of the investments are happening with developers, primarily going for land funding, with either existing land banks repriced, taking equity stakes, or getting into fresh land purchases in various JVs. There were models like preference models, there were all kinds of cash flow mechanisms which were being worked out to protect the investor interest. And the last 2-3 years, however, see, if you look at it fundamentally, just before that, but if you look at it fundamentally, what is happening is that there are essentially two risks which any person is taking when he is investing in a financial instrument associated with real estate. To put it very plainly, real estate risk and a developer risk. The Indian experience for the last 7-8 years, especially in the indirect segment, has not been very good as compared to direct investments in real estate. And one of the primary reasons for this has been lot of leakage at the developer risk part. So while the real estate part of the risk has done well, because the developer, that is the partner of the private equity person, has not either it has not happened, or projects have got delayed, or there have been leakages in various formats, the investors at the end of the day have not made money. So there, in the last 2-3 years, coming to your question, in the last 2-3 years, a lot of people have migrated from doing pure vanilla equity investments or pseudo equity investments to debt and debt oriented investments, which is actually, can be said, is the flavor of the day. I think almost 90 to 95% of investments in the so-called private equity investment space is actually not private equity, it's private debt. Whether it's the entire wealth management forum, the entire domestic capital, people are saying, if I can get 18 to 24% return in debt, then why should I look at equity? It is also bringing to the second point, which is that there is a rapid rationalization of investment returns, or what an investor wants from his investments. So 2-3 years, most of it, today now people have moved from equity to pure debt. And whether it is an overreaction, that is for us to see, but I personally solidly feel that it is an overreaction.
So we'll come to that point. I just wanted to extend the point from a developer perspective. So he had made a point. So what do you think? How have things changed for you in the last 2-3 years?
Hi everyone. So what we have seen or observed in the last 3 years has been that in the last 3 years, for the customers or for the home buyers, I think for them things have become more clearer in terms of several developers who are bogged down with debt, or who are facing approval issues or some other controversies. I think for a buyer, the market became more and more transparent. I think today most of the buyers are well informed in terms of what are the rules, what are the norms, plus which are the developers who are in a good shape, and who are the developers who may not be able to complete the project. So from an end user perspective, what we observed was that customers now clearly, in every micro market where there are 10 or 15 options, they clearly know which are the 2 or 3 players who are doing well, and they'll be able to deliver the product. So I think for in the last 3 years, I think this is the biggest advantage from the point of view of a customer. And for a developer, I think a lot of them who are facing issues may want to clean up their balance sheets. But people who are in good shape, I think now is a good time where sentiments are improving. And hopefully in the next 6 months, 9 months, once people have made their money in the stock markets, I think that will start coming back into real estate as usual. So I think, yeah, I feel, from a developer's perspective, I think the next 1 year to 1.5 years should start, should be the beginning of again new cycle on the up move.
So are you making more investments? Are you adding capacity, looking to add supply?
Yes. So I think for developers who are in a good shape right now, who have a good developers, like we have a negligible debt, and I think right now we are a debt-free company. So obviously with the good cash flow, we are looking at good opportunities in the market where we feel that with the brand and the premium positioning that we enjoy, we feel yes, there is a good opportunity to put in money. Or maybe tie up with developers who are facing cash crunch and who would want to come out or who would want to clean up their balance sheet. So as a developer, yes, we are trying to acquire few properties, and you will
Sure,
see this quite soon.
Naveen, I just want to ask you from a client perspective, how have you seen client expectations, reactions, objectives change, preferences over the last 2-3 years? Because you have the toughest role to translate the client need to your investment team and come up with a solution that meets both ends. And he had a point, Vipul had a point about risk, so maybe you can also touch upon that.
Okay, I think, sorry, I think it will be appropriate to say that just like every industry goes through evolution, I think real estate in India has also undergone huge amount of evolution. And there could be various factors which have contributed to this. Some were within our control, and a large number of it were beyond our control. But to put things in perspective, the assumptions of 2007-8 or 2005-6, when private equity as a concept was in its infancy and it was just kind of setting its foot in the door, I think everybody was very euphoric about the concept itself, right? And everything was right. I mean, the assumptions were right, the market reading was right. None of us expected 2008, 9, etc. to happen, right? Thereafter, all the assumptions of early years underwent huge amount of changes. It took a lot of time for investors to actually reconcile to the fact that yes, market dynamics are changing, have changed, and my expectations have to be now rationalized. You still meet a lot of investors who still have very high level of expectation. At times not necessarily very appropriate benchmark, okay? Because if you are investing in, for example, in mutual fund, I think you should be comparing with mutual fund and not necessarily with your own direct equity, because that's not apple to apple. In case of real estate, it happens almost with everyone. Your immediate benchmark is your own investment, whether it's in a residential property, in an area where you reside, or in a state or a city where you reside, or your in-laws reside, etc. Vis-a-vis your investment in any other paper form. I think it's extremely important to understand 2-3 things, and which a large number of investors who understand the concept of private equity very well have now understood. And it's thanks to the initiative of this kind, and thanks to the gaining concept of family wealth in this country, that these kind of concepts are becoming a reality now. People understand that private equity is not to be compared with equity. Extremely important. People have started realizing that private equity, especially in case of real estate, is a game of allocation, portfolio diversification. So I cannot say, no, मैंने वो मकान नहीं खरीदी क्योंकि आपके फंड में डालना था. Never do that. You can't do that. It's not, option between टिंडा and tomato. चलो टिंडा नहीं मिला, टोमेटो ले लिया, दोनों का टेस्ट ठीक होता है. No, it doesn't work that way. Because the perspective of your own direct investment and perspective of investment through a fund house or in the paper form are very different. You are taking a call for the next 5, 6, 7 years, okay? And there are a lot of assumptions linked to that. When you are with your own investment, I don't think you do the same thing, right? When we buy a flat, we just say, okay, someday it might appreciate and we'll take a call as to whether we want to dispose of. You don't look at anything else. But when you're looking at investing into real estate through private equity structure, I think it's time. Everybody has to become extremely, cautious of the fact that there are a lot of things which you have to be aware of. The risk factors, the assumptions underlying are very important for all of us to understand. There's nothing wrong. Nobody's trying to conceal facts. But I think as a prudent investor, I think it's extremely important for all of us to understand. And I'm very happy to say that the large number of people who have been a part of this industry for the past 8-10 years have been able to understand this concept very well, rationalize their thought process, and to that extent have brought down their expectation level to a very, very realistic level now, which obviously also means that their appetite for allocation to real estate in direct or in indirect form also has undergone a huge amount of change. So a seasoned investor typically doesn't get very euphoric about the bull run in a particular sector, right? They always take everything with a pinch of salt, go a little carefully. And it's people like him who actually do the job of filtering his thought process before they actually start advising him. So I think, in a nutshell, I think investors, expectations have become very, very realistic now, which is good news for the industry, because then it actually sets a very simple and a very realistic tone of expectation for any form of investment into real estate.
Definitely. I just wanted to stay on this point for a minute. From a regulatory perspective, have you seen any positive movement that will help this industry? Because if you look at the total amount that is managed by professional money managers like yourselves, and to the total investment that clients have or investors have, it's very, very small.
Correct.
So is there any learning from a global perspective that we can see, or is from a regulatory perspective, have things moved in investors' favor?
I don't think so. On the contrary, by increasing under AIF guidelines, by increasing the threshold, probably they have actually made it beyond the reach of a lot of investors who would want to experiment with private equity and then probably increase allocation. Because PE in India is still in its infancy, right? So it will be wrong to assume that everybody can actually spare or give you a check of 1 crore for investment. I mean, people think twice before doing that, and rightfully so. So I think AIF guidelines is, in a way, it's going to compel people to ensure, or fund houses to ensure, or people like you to ensure that we actually have a well-informed investor participating in this business who understand the business and the risk and the reward associated with it. What is likely to happen though? I mean, as of now, I don't think we have seen too many positive as far as regulators are concerned. But with a regulator, real estate regulator coming in, which looks like a possibility in the near future, that's going to change a lot of things. And obviously, a lot has been talked about and said about REITs as well. So I think with these kind of things happening, we will actually see a very different kind of, dynamic emerging.
Sure, definitely. Thanks. Before we move to the opportunities, I'm sure which everyone wants to hear, I just wanted to spend, Vipul, 5 minutes with you on the risks in real estate investing, on the equity side, and also if you can stress a little bit more on the credit side, because that is what has seen an explosion, high yield credit.